Thomas, congratulations through to the FA Cup semi-finals. How good does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds excellent. It was a tough match. We had a good first half where we controlled everything. But second half we lost control. We were clearly tired now. I could see after 14 matches consecutive, I could feel us tired and a bit lack of concentration, many little faults, and a strong opponent in the second half. So we were lucky in the second half to keep the clean sheet. But I think it was now the first time in 14 matches where we are lucky and where we allowed too many chances. But it can arrive, and it's important in the end in the cup to go through. And this was the target, and we reached it.
Yeah, some relief I could see on everyone's face there in the dugout when both those goals were scored. It says a lot about the way Sheffield United battled in that game.
Yeah, of course, and we let them. Of course, we let them come back because we had, like I said, full control in first half. We had second half a big chance with Christian to finish the game very early, and after that we had too many mistakes, too many easy mistakes. We lost duels. And we lost a bit the concentration and the momentum. So, but honestly, I could feel it in training. Since some days we feel a bit tired and have a lack of concentration. Things are not too easy. It's normal that it can happen, that in a game it gets more and more problematic to keep the level up. So these things can happen. I'm happy that we could help from the bench with the guys who came in, and in the end we have a win and take it.
Congratulations, Christian. You were made to work for it though, weren't you, particularly in that second half?
Yeah, they didn't make it easy on us. We knew that they have quality, and we had to suffer a bit in the second half. But in the end, it was another clean sheet and good performance.
Yep, another clean sheet. We'll come to that in a moment. But yeah, just the one goal in it for the majority of that second half, and they really tested you. Was it a little bit uncomfortable at times?
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to be a bit uncomfortable. Sometimes, there's always going to be a bit of pressure, and we just got to, kind of defend and be strong as a team. And I think we did that today. So in the end, I was happy.
Your chances overall quite limited. Were they quite difficult to break down?
Yeah, no, they're a good defensive side as well. Had a couple chances where, myself and, we could have done a bit better. But, in the end, we got the 2 goals, and it was a good result.
Just finally, the unbeaten run continues. On paper, you're looking unstoppable. Is that the feeling within this team as well?
We definitely have a confident bunch of guys. And obviously, when you go on a streak like this, we're feeling really good, and we feel like we can beat anyone. So, it's a good feeling.
All right, congratulations. You're man of the match today.
Thank you.
He felt he could do better. We'll have a look at the moment and at his best bits. I suppose a goal is what he really needs, isn't it, to make him feel he's had the great game. But Hakim Ziyech did get the goal at the very end there to make it a kind of slightly more respectable scoreline for Chelsea.
Yeah, I think Sheffield United got caught upfield trying to get that equaliser, and that's what happens when you put so many men forward. But if you look at this ball in, just a little dink and delightful touch. The touch allows him to get it on his left foot, and it's a great finish. And it's difficult. It's hard for Sheffield United because they really tried and gave it everything they had tonight. But in the end, it was about quality in the boxes. And when you've got a player like this, you can come on and score a goal like this. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Until then, we're not quite sure if the subs were working for Tuchel.
It was difficult, As Mika said, you have to give Sheffield United credit. They came out, they was more expansive, as we spoke about at half-time. They played with a little bit more confidence and free-flowing football and didn't deserve to lose this game 2-0. But, the subs didn't impact it until, of course, Ziyech late on, really. But, yeah, it's one of them. You're disappointed that, Chelsea didn't really punish and finish the game how they started the first half, but again, giving credit to Sheffield United.
Yeah, and we've got a list of chances for Sheffield United, but we're going to have to call this one a miss, Michael, because he won't want to look back and see this too soon.
He will not want to see it. I mean, John Lundstrom down the right-hand side, it's a wonderful ball, centre of the pitch, dive and head. He can see it all the way, and he's doing what is it? Your dive and header, you're trying to head it down, guide it into the far corner. He just catches it a little bit.
It's almost like he's celebrated before the ball's gone in the net. I've been in that position as a defender, and you're just so excited. He can't,
Mike,
you think this is all he has to do.
Do you blame him for celebrating?
Have it on target. And I felt for him because, like I said before, Sheffield United they deserve something from this game.
Yeah, but that's one that, they see the manager's reaction there. That was the chance, but there were more. They came for Sheffield United, didn't they? They took their opportunities.
Well, at half-time, we were wondering how they were going to come out. We felt like there was chances in the game that they could come and sort of get on the front foot. We've seen McBurney chances, we've seen McGoldrick, we've seen Ryan Brewster. So they started to make runs, forward runs into key areas. This is brilliant down the line by McGoldrick after his miss, going right across, but nobody there just to push it in. Didn't fall for them, but they showed intent. And as you see this now, it's great skill that in a tight area. Then you can't be touched right across the line. It just doesn't fall for him. And for all the effort, it comes down to quality. And you see at the top of the pitch, a little bit different for Chelsea. But didn't the team show real intent, real desire? And Brewster, I said it at half-time, he's going to come on at some point. He's going to score. Michael, look, I said he was going to score. I couldn't be any closer, could I? I thought that was it.
You said he was going to influence the game.
Thank you, Abby. That's great. I appreciate that. But that was his chance, wasn't it, to open his account for Sheffield United. And that pretty much told the whole story, didn't it?
Yeah, and the first half, of course, it was a Sheffield United defensive, well, you analysed it really well at half-time, a defensive mix-up. And, the role of the defenders here, it was a bit of confusion, wasn't it, that led to the own goal?
Yeah, Lundstrom was there, as we spoke about half-time. What was his actual job and role and responsibility here? But, again, there's probably too many players to pick out and blame. But, again, it's just a lucky deflection. Which was difficult. But again, second half, they defended well, they was in better positions. But here, yeah, Norwood, a little bit difficult. Maybe get across, cover across.
If they can take the disappointment kind of a way of going out of the FA Cup, which is all they really had left for this season, what they probably can take away is, OK, we can put in a good performance, we've got to rebuild, because we've got to look positive, haven't we, towards next season. This is Sheffield United saying this, not me, obviously, that they've got to get a new manager and feel that they can bounce back.
Spoke to the chief executive before the game. He mentioned about the manager, whether it be a coach, whether it be a manager. He felt like they want a manager, somebody who can take control of the club. So it'll be really interesting going forward how they do that. But they've got to take that team spirit, the desire that's been on for such a long time now into the end of the season and into next season.
But I think they can be happy with the way the game has gone. They're still in it. Obviously, one mistake has cost them. But they've not been great, but they've been better than our thoughts.
Yeah, they didn't look like a side that were very soundly beaten 5-0 last time out. There was a good attitude there, a good energy, certainly the first 20 minutes or so.
There was, and they had a go, didn't they? They wanted to make it happen. They showed good energy, good pressing, good desire, good organisation, out of possession as well. So unfortunately, it's a strong Chelsea side who can create openings. So it's not the worst first half performance. A bit more creativity really needed for Sheffield United.
What do you make of Chelsea?
They've been okay. I think, they've huffed and puffed. Sheffield United have sat in and had a very good defensive block, which has made it difficult for Chelsea. But, they've kept the ball well, they've moved it quick. So, they've got the goal, and hopefully second half we'll get more.
The goal, of course, coming through a defensive mistake from Sheffield United in terms of an own goal. But let's have a little look a bit closer at it, Micah.
Yeah, the ball comes in. It sort of evades everyone. It falls to Chilwell here. Connects it, a nice strike, and if you just look closely, it does look like it's going wide.
Yeah, Micah, for me, though, I'm looking at John Lundstrom's position in the centre that's highlighted, and can he get across? What is his role? Is this his role to actually be the first to attack it? Is he the edge of the area? Is that his responsibility? We'll find out afterwards. But at the point there, Ashley, I don't know, for me, could the defence get out much quicker? Could they get across? Because somebody got to get a block on it much better than they did do.
Yeah, I think Norwood here, I think he's got to come across. I think not just Norwood, but the whole defensive line of that Sheffield United have got to get across, block the danger, which is central, and hope you don't get little nicks, because that's what happens.
Because Bogle's right in front of Ramsdale, isn't he, for starters? Where I'm thinking if they're all out, no one's getting a touch of that, and if it goes right into the far corner, then maybe. But are you thinking out or across or both?
I'm thinking across. I think you have to be very careful about getting up. Maybe one or two steps, but you've got to be careful of balls in, players behind you. But I think they should have come across more, covered the goal area a little bit, or the 6-yard box a little bit better, and then for me, you don't get own goal situations. And Norwood stuck his leg out and anything can happen right in the centre of the
Don't
goal.
forget, it comes over your head, so the time to react, to get out, your first thing you're thinking, am I in position? And then, like Ashley said, if you can come across and just... It was a little bit unlucky because it was going wide, but if you're looking at it if you're nitpicking at it, it could have come across maybe 4 or 5 yards.
For all Chelsea's endeavour and possession, and we're stood here kind of where the ball seems to be kind of pretty much gripping the wings, doesn't it? Because it comes from the fullback. All their attack and endeavour comes the way they're set up with that back three. They're so important to any creativity.
Well, Chilwell and Hudson-Odoi. I mean, he's playing in a position where he's not normally used to it. He's played it under Tuchel, but the good thing about having a winger in the wing-back role, they stay wide. If you look at the three in midfield here, they create the space. Mount goes out and leaves that space for them to cut it back or cross it in. Chilwell on the other side. When we talked before the game about adapting to what they need, they're adapting to the players that they have in these positions, and yeah, that's just perfect for the way what they want to play.
And yet, it hasn't troubled Ramsdale very much, has it? For all that attack, actually, only at the very end of the other half there, we saw Pulisic with a chance.
Yeah, it's been difficult, to break Sheffield United down. I think they've been very compact. They're defending centrally very, very well. So the danger is going to be in the wide areas. I think getting the ball to Callum and Chilwell, and let them go at players 1v1, I think is going to be the opportunity where Chelsea will get success. But again, it's difficult to break Sheffield United down. I think you have to give them credit in terms of the way they've set up and played.
Yeah, let's have a closer look at that, because we talk about the energy and the endeavour and the intent, and certainly they have made life very difficult, haven't they, for Chelsea?
Well, they have, and they started with the press. They wanted to really set a tone. They wanted to tackle. They wanted to be aggressive. It didn't always come to something. I felt that when they did get it, they tried to turn people around. But this will show you now the numbers are good. They all want to press on the front foot, and that was always going to be difficult, whether they could keep that up for a long period of time. So I think that would have given confidence at the start of the game that they were able to do it. They had a couple of little half chances, but at the end of it, it's about quality. It's about the passing, and we talked about it. When they did get it, could the pass be a little bit crisper? Could it be on the ground? Could it be a little bit easier? And this was a chance here for Jagielka. What a story, what a day that would have been for him. But really, as we see the crosses coming in, it's all about the quality, and ultimately that's where they're going to have to improve. They're going to have to take a little bit more of a chance, and round the back there, nobody attacking it.
Yeah, and you're slightly frustrated as well, not just with Sheffield United, but teams you call the smaller teams, the teams that perhaps don't have that depth of quality, that the one thing that they can control are their set pieces.
The set pieces comes in, we've just seen there. I mean, he's not even beating the first man. I mean, you're not going to rip Chelsea apart by a lovely piece of play, but what you can do is work on your set pieces. So when I see the set pieces hitting the first man, when I was a defender, and I used to speak to Joey Barton when he was there, hit it so in an area where I can attack it. Don't hit it from the first, because it's the only time you maybe get a chance. But yeah, they've done well to still be in the game. But if I was the manager at half-time, I'd be very frustrated.
Let's have a little look at that chance I talked about a moment ago, just coming at the end of the half, where Ramsdale did have to get himself into action and did well with it.
Yeah, I think Chelsea under Tuchel has been, very aggressive in the press, and Norwood's played one blind, I think, there. And Pulisic has read it. He's put himself in good areas where they can kind of counter-attack or in that transition period. He's played it blind there, and maybe he should score. He slipped a little bit, slowed him and delayed him down, but Ramsdale with a good save in the end.
Chelsea were good on the front foot at getting across people when the square passes were coming. They were trying to really be aggressive with it. Ramsdale does well to save that, actually. He keeps his side in the game, because he'd be disappointed with the goal that led to the corner kick from his mistake, really. But I think Chelsea have pressed well as too.
Yeah, I think they've been, it's probably a game plan of them, that they're happy to, be behind the ball and then feel that trigger when to go and press. And with Mason in there and Pulisic and Billy, screening, I think they've done that well today.
Billy Gilmore's looked good, hasn't he, considering how little football he's actually played.
It's a quality play. You see the positions he gets on. He gets on the ball when... You know what I always like of a player? When they get the ball in tight areas and they're not afraid to get it. He gets it on the half turn, similar to how Mount does, always wants to be on the half turn. First pass forward, and what a talent. Only 19, he's big future.
He loves the FA Cup, as we know, doesn't he? And it could have been so different, couldn't it, that goal, if it was 2-0 going in at half-time, Sheffield United. But the game is very much still in the balance, 1-0